I love that insight into Victor Wembanyama. He's been, though, so out of this world. We had to revisit his performance last night one more time. Also, I love that he did the shout-out to NASA. That was just great. All right, the Spurs, they led 10-0. We wondered if the Warriors would ever score. But this is the third time this season in which the Spurs scored at least the first 10 points. And then there's Victor, big part of that. 14th time this year, he scored 10 points, 5 rebounds, Perk, in a single quarter.
I mean, look. Out of the pick and roll action, not doing too much, and we know he gonna do that. That's why he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. But even in this highlight, I want you to understand, you gotta have a certain type of mentality to say, I don't care.
Four
Put the whole
defenders,
team on me.
past the screen. This is, I can't call
With
it
the love.
That's nasty.
I'm not sure I can say it's a zone. It's a suggestion of a zone, but he splits the triple team.
The Warriors were ill-equipped to defend him in this game because of who they didn't have, but he dominated that.
17 points in the first quarter, tied for his second most in a first quarter in his career. Knocks down the 3 in the second half, and then this block.
Well, he's playing with a bunch of kids out. It looks like AI, some of his plays he does.
And then Wemby cuts through the Warriors' defense easily here. Zig, zag. He had 41 points, 29 minutes of action. Here's what Wemby had to say about the team's lack of playoff experience.
Yeah, we don't have experience, right? Screw it. I mean, that's all we got. We're not going to play any different ways just because it is this way. I mean, we're still going to play 100% and go to try to win this championship. Screw it.
Love it.
Screw it.
Love his energy.
I love the energy, the earnestness in which he was chatting with our friend Scott Van Pelt. And here's a look at the favorites to win the NBA title this season, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, right? Yes, the Thunder are the clear favorites at plus 130. Look at the Boston Celtics, second best odds here. And then here comes the San Antonio 6-1. And then, yes, you have the Nuggets, the Cavaliers, the Knicks, the Pistons, the Lakers. But since we're talking contenders, I don't want to know about the odds. I want to know about Big Perk. I think it's time for Big Perk's big list.
Damn it, it's not your list. It's Big Perk's list. There's actually rules to this, okay? You will speak when spoken to. Give me some energy. Bam. That's it? Bam! 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 Put it up there. It's not your list. It's mine. Hello, world. Hey,
Oh, no.
it's my time, damn it. Wemby says, screw it. Screw it. I don't care if y'all agree with this list because it's not your list. Y'all understand the assignment of
we just heard the rules
in this segment.
We do.
And since we're under 2 weeks away, damn it, it's only right to have a Big Perks, big list, a top 5 title contender.
Let's do it.
Again, this is my list. And since you bringing that energy and you ready, go ahead and skip up there and hit number 5.
Bam!
Put it up there, damn it. I like it. I like what I'm seeing from them. Austin Reeves, Luka, LeBron, they figured it out offensively. And on the defensive side, DeAndre Ayton has finally bought into his role. Marcus Smart is doing his thing. And J.J. Redick is coaching his behind off right now. This group is together. They're playing with passion. Most importantly, I love LeBron James' body language on the floor.
Yeah.
DG, walk your bow-legged ass up. Give me some.
Bam!
Put it up there, damn it. The Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
They haven't been healthy. They really haven't had a quality win, but they got Nikola Jokic, one of the best players in the game, who looks like he's in better shape now. Jamal Murray is playing at somewhat of an all-NBA level. And as they continue to get healthy, we know they have a championship core. They're going to be right in the thick of things. So I got them at number 4 because I could never count out Jokic when it comes down to contending for a title. Wendy, where you at?
I feel like this might be green. Put it up there!
Bam!
There you go.
Did you
Good guess.
cheat?
No, sir. No,
Well,
sir.
the Celtics.
No, sir.
The Celtics, the best team in the Eastern Conference, and might be the only team in the Eastern Conference that made my list. Why? Because they got the best duo in the East. They have the most championship experience in the East.
That's true.
Coach Mazzulla has his system. Peyton Pritchard's been a bright spot, and the role players are being stars in their role. And you know what else? Last but not least, they're a top 5 defensive team in the NBA. Malika, come on over here, girl. Give me that.
There you go.
Hey.
Bam!
The Thunder. The defending champs.
Number 2.
Yes, SGA is doing his
goodness.
thing, and he's probably going to win MVP. J-Dub is just coming back. I don't know how he's going to be ready or how he's going to look postseason time. Yes, they have all the pieces. I understand that. OKC, y'all know how I feel about y'all. I can't wait to go back maybe in the conference finals to get that standing ovation. But y'all number 2 right now.
You're gonna be in the
and then number 1, bam! Damn it! If Wemby says screw it, I'm saying screw it. Forget the experience. I'm rolling with this individual right here in the San Antonio Spurs.
Wow.
They check all the boxes. You want perimeter play on the offensive end? They got that. You want a young facilitator that's been learning throughout the course of the season how to play the point guard spot, Stephon Castle? They have that. And do you want that defensive presence and that tenacity? They got that, led by Wemby, and they have a Coach of the Year candidate in Mitch Johnson on the sideline.
Wow.
This is my top 5 title contenders. It will not change because we're less than 2 weeks away from the actual playoff start.
That is.
Got no
This
arguments
list
there.
tells me, well, I might have an argument, but this list tells me one thing. It tells me that the Western Conference is entirely stacked right now, because there was a time we were talking about the Knicks, the Cavaliers.
Yeah, no
clearly,
Knicks, Perk. No
you've
Knicks.
changed your tune here.
Yeah,
Ken.
looking shaky lately.
All right, let's see. That
No,
was.
I think he said faithfully.
Oh, faithfully.
Yeah.
Faithfully.
There you go.
I've never heard that
Yeah,
before.
there was a faithfully thrown in there. All right, Franz Wagner was back for this one. So the Magic are 6-8, right, when Bane, Banchero, Wagner, and Suggs all play in this one. Perk, what'd you think of what we heard in the biggest issue facing the Magic?
The biggest issue is that the Orlando Magic has quit on Jamal Mosley. They quit. And if we go back, not from last game, go back against that game where they played Toronto a few nights ago. How embarrassing that was.
50 points.
And it starts with Paolo Banchero, right? It starts from the top. How many times this season has he come out publicly, post-game interview, and has threw his coach under the damn bus? He obviously don't want to play for Jamal Mosley, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's fired. Does he deserve to lose his job? Hell no. Paolo Banchero has to play better. Paolo Banchero has to be a better leader. That is the problem. He's been inconsistent. If you ask me, DG, Wendy, Malika, he has taken steps back. At the beginning of the season, after the postseason run he had last season, we was expecting him to be in the conversation
well, also adding
with the
Desmond
best of
Bane,
them.
right? Like adding Desmond Bane to this team, needing to have shooters. They just haven't added up to the sum of their parts, and they've been bottom of the league in offense and defense, and that's not really a good place to
and
start.
signing Paolo to a max and signing Franz Wagner to a match and extending Jalen Suggs. They've said this is our team.
This is the roster.
And they've, mortgaged their future draft assets to get Desmond Bane to win now. They thought they could. They were looking at it and saying, boy, Tatum is hurt, Halliburton is hurt, we can finish top 2. They're flirting with 10th. And again, I think, look, you're going to have, they've had injuries, but you lose by 29 at home in an important game.
You know it, DG. Like, come on, keep it real.
They've taken some really bad losses that are inexcusable. Shout out to Atlanta. They've been balling. The Kel Alexander Walker, off the charts, most improved.
We'll
but to lose
later.
by 30 at home is inexcusable. And again, I don't think it's Jamal Mosley issue. It's a player issue. They need some leadership in that locker room. They need some type of veteran, somebody to step up.
This is the type of year, unfortunately, the coaching carousel, it starts to turn. Are you hearing anything on that
In all
front?
honesty, it's dominated the conversations I've had within the league for the last month and a half. There's
Really?
potentially significant moving at the coaching ranks, and Orlando is a team people are watching. But I would like Danny, I'd like to say Atlanta, 17-2 in 5th place. Want to point out they have 2 games left with the Cavs. The Cavs are in 4th. I think almost certainly going to finish 4th. That's potentially a playoff preview. They've been defending great. Their perimeter is very strong. And really, this is one team going this way and one team going this way.
And it wasn't the two that you thought that was going to be going those directions when the team started. And you mentioned that matchup against the Cavaliers. We're going